Many thanks for staying with us on the ACNN News Update, coming to you from our broadcast studios here in Abuja. I am Chukwuemeka Lum Anyakwa. Here are some of the stories we have for you at this moment. Church leaders have expressed their regret over the decision by the U.S. President Donald Trump to withdraw from the Paris Agreement on climate change. The agreement reached after years of negotiations culminating in the COP21 talks in Paris in December 2015, committed world leaders to work towards reducing global temperature increases. A significant number of Anglican leaders, headed by the Archbishop of Cape Town, Thabo Makgoba, were in Paris for the talks to push the political leaders towards an agreement. Recall that President Trump recently confirmed the long-signaled decision to withdraw the U.S. from the agreement, saying it was unfair on the United States. President Trump confirmed that new coal mines will be opening shortly in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. Meanwhile, the Anglican Communion Environmental Network has added its voice to those condemning President Donald Trump for deciding to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement. President Trump said the agreement, which was reached in October 2015, would hurt the American economy, cost American jobs, and put the U.S. at a disadvantage with rival economies such as China and India. In a statement, the Environmental Network expressed its sorrow at the decision. Interfaith and religious harmony is essential to bring about guaranteed long-term peace and stability in Pakistan. This is the belief of senior faith leaders during a peace conference organized by the Diocese of Peshawar in Pakistan. Bishop Humphrey Peters, who has since been elected as the new primate and moderator of the Church of Pakistan, convened the meeting, which brought together leaders of minority faiths, including Christians, Hindus, and Sikhs, with leaders of the majority Muslim faith. Bishop Humphreys highlighted interfaith achievements and praised those who had been working to promote peace in a region which has been the repeated target of extremist and terrorist groups. The initiative was supported by the German branch of the international Christian development charity World Vision. The third London Bridge attacker has been named as 22-year-old Yusuf Zagba, a Moroccan-Italian man. Pakistan-born Kuram Butt, 27, and Rachid Redouane, 30, both from Barking, were the other two attackers. Meanwhile, another victim has been named as Australian nurse Christy Borden, who is 28, who her family said had run towards London Bridge to help people. 7 people were killed and 48 injured on Saturday night's attack. The 3 attackers were shot dead by police. Zaba, Butt, and Redouane drove a hired van into pedestrians on London Bridge at about 9 p.m. British time before stabbing people in the area around Borough Market. Armed officers killed all 3 within 8 minutes of receiving a 999 call. The Metropolitan Police said Butt had been subject to an investigation in 2015, but there had been no suggestion this attack was being planned. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Yemen, Libya's eastern-based government, and the Maldives have all cut diplomatic and other ties with Qatar, accusing it of supporting terrorism in the Gulf region. U.S. President Donald Trump has said he was told during his recent visit to Saudi Arabia that neighboring Qatar was funding radical ideology. Analysts say the timing of the move, 2 weeks after a visit to Saudi Arabia by Mr. Trump, is crucial. Mr. Trump's speech in the Saudi Arabia capital Riyadh, in which he blamed Iran for instability in the Middle East and urged Muslim countries to take the lead in combating radicalization, is seen as likely to have emboldened Gulf allies to act against Qatar. In the same week as Mr. Trump's speech, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates blocked Qatari news sites, including Al Jazeera. Now, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates have given Qatari nationals 2 weeks to leave, banned their own citizens from traveling to Qatar, and cut all transport links. A US-backed alliance of Kurdish and Arab fighters has launched an offensive to capture the jihadist group Islamic State's Syrian stronghold of Raqqa, with fighters advancing on several fronts. The Syrian Democratic Forces SDF said the assault began on Monday just as a monitoring group reported clashes in the east of Raqqa and at a military base on the northern outskirts. The US-led coalition said the operation would deliver a decisive blow to the idea of ISIS as a physical caliphate. The SDF, which says it is not aligned with the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, of the rebel forces seeking to overthrow him has driven ISIS from about 6,000 square kilometers of northern Syria since October 2015. It has been gradually encircling Raqqa since November, at the same time as Iraqi pro-government forces have been driving ISIS militants out of the city of Mosul. And finally, the U.S. says it is considering what part it will play on the UN's Human Rights Council, highlighting what it calls a biased stance on Israel. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who was making her first address to the Council in Geneva, said it was hard to accept that resolutions had been passed against Israel, our U.S. ally, but none were considered on Venezuela. She also said not enough had been done to criticize Iran, a country with an abysmal human rights record. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has previously called the body an anti-Israel circus, which attacks the only democracy in the Middle East and ignores the blatant violations of Iran, Syria, and North Korea. And that's the much we can take on the news update, which came to you on the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN. We thank you so very much for being a part of it. I am Chukwuemeka Lum Anyakwa. Stay blessed.